Hello my friends, the day after plus 14, Belgrade, Šareno. I'm referring to the weather. Šareno meaning some clouds, some sun, but generally 19 degrees Celsius, quite okay, I would say quite okay. Yesterday we had one newly deceased patient, so the total death toll is 235. 100 newly discovered infected persons. However, quite some of them were from one single source, from Vranje, one company practically, where everybody infected each other. So yeah, I wouldn't pay much attention to that. Other than that, it's quite fine. We have over 5,000 healed patients. With these 100 we have something like 10,833, if I'm not mistaken. The total number of infected persons, and slightly over 5,000 healed, recovered. Yeah, quite okay. We will be soon, today probably we will be having totally over 200,000 tested persons, so slightly over 10,000 infected, it's almost 11,000, so slightly over 2% is the, I was actually referring to the mortality rate of 2%, 235 out of 200,000 discovered infected patients. Never mind, this we are now passing next to is the location of the future grandiose shopping mall, Alta Comanda, Delta Planet, I believe, or something like. But this project has been probably in the drawer for quite some while, because I remember back in 2009 I first found out about this project, so it's already 11 years. That's probably they didn't manage to get all the licenses, etc. Driving the highway direction Niš is the city that saved my life 3 times, and I'm very grateful. I explained this in one of my Facebook posts, so I'm not going to elaborate it more now. More sun, more to my liking. The reason I'm going to Niš, actually I'm not going to Niš, I'm only using part of the highway to Niš. We'll be going to Krnjevo. There is a small winery, actually one of the first small wineries that have been opened in Serbia after the year 2000. Mali Podrum Radovanović. This is one thing that you can find in Krnjevo. And yes, there was some time that I didn't try their wines, but quite some time actually, but now it seems that I'll try some of them again. I remember last time I visited them, it was sometimes 2012 maybe. Or 13 or something. They were just planting a new vineyard at a very steep hill next to their facilities, that one, so there was no possibility to go with any kind of machines there. So that one was supposed to be very exclusive vineyard with only manual operations on it, etc. So I will recheck what happened with it. There is also one other rather quite a large company in Krnjevo, which is called DIS, the ex-Zmana. They are one of top 5 retail chains in Serbia. I also visited them also in 2012 or 13. Back then, as a banker, I mean, I tried to do some business with them. Not successfully though, but never mind. I mean, it's really impressive. I mean, how this guy has managed to build a really reputable company out of initially only wholesale operations, and yeah, not only wholesale but also these Zmana shops. Okay, we are now on our left is Kalujerica, the largest wild neighborhood, I mean wild estate in Europa, as the Germans would say, Europe. In the meanwhile, it has been regulated and so, but there are many areas around Belgrade, I mean the suburbs, that were populated by the refugees from Bosnia and Croatia in the 91, etc., 92. Back then, the city planners apparently did not react on time. So these poor guys, they were just building houses wherever they found some suitable plot of land. So some time ago there was no electricity, yes, but there was no sewage, etc. I believe now it has been regulated quite, at least in Kalujerica there are still some areas without. Yeah, city planners, yeah, they were always, I mean, my general impression is that they were always behind the events, quite behind. We are approaching Bubanj Potok. The thing that we can see on our right is Avala TV Tower in the distance. In the distance, I can hold the drum. I can hear the drums. It seems that there is a petля. I mean, the intersection of the circle around Belgrade is now being built here next to Bubanj Potok. This road will now go over these hills on the left, and then probably will be ending up, in the first stage will be ending up at Smederevski Put, but probably further on there will be a new bridge built over Danube, and presumably going directly to Pančevo or somewhere close to Pančevo. Yeah, this is the construction site, and IKEA is just behind. IKEA is the reason why the pay toll station Bubanj Potok, which used to be exactly here, has been moved several kilometers further down. Okay, good side of it is that now it's a very modern pay toll station, one of the most modern actually that I've seen lately. IKEA, quite a large complex. I mean, they're doing very clever job, these IKEA guys, have to say, but maybe some other time will be elaborated more on them. I was thinking of maybe telling you something about from some of the story of related to some of my travels my travel to Czech Republic back in 1997, 1st of May. But this I described in my Facebook post in the trilogy called the Czech Republic. The Hamburg, the journey to Hamburg was also relatively interesting. It happened in 1996. So this was my first practically true stay abroad without my parents. Although back then I was already 24 years old. Okay, I stayed abroad with with friends, etc., etc. In some winter, also Czech Republic, one winter, and then to Greece. Actually, no, but Montenegro was still then back in Yugoslavia. Okay, so let's say this is definitely, at least one of the first situation where I had longer stay abroad without seeing my family. In total 6 months. Back then we needed a visa for Germany, or the European Economic Community. It was not quite easy to obtain this visa, so I had to queue in front of the embassy. Although I had an invitation paper from the company I was supposed to do my traineeship in, which was this company is today known as PWC or PricewaterhouseCoopers, but back then it was Coopers and Lybrand. So it was one of the companies that existed before the merge of these two. That happened later on, obviously. But the true name of the company in Germany was C&L Unternehmensberatung, GmbH, GmbH. So it was a consulting part of the audit, the famous audit company. And I got this traineeship via AIESEC student exchange program. Back then I didn't know much. Pretty much about anything. Because I was just finishing my faculty studies at the Faculty of Economy in Belgrade. And I also got this traineeship practically accidentally. Because during the time of sanctions, so from 91 to 95, obviously there was not much exchange of students with Serbia. So in order to kind of remedy this and rectify and make some concession to the Serbs, German AIESEC gave us for free, I believe, several traineeships. Because usually it's a pro rata, the reciprocity. The number of students you receive in the country, this is the number you can send abroad, and this is how it functions. But that year Germany granted us a few additional traineeships without, outside of this standard program. But the requirements were that the students have to speak German. And obviously I was one of the very few that spoke German back then. So I got it. The name C&L Unternehmensberatung did not mean much to me back then, because we were kind of isolated. I didn't know much about Coopers and Lybrand either. Okay, I did read something, but it was practically nothing. So I didn't know how good actually this traineeship truly was. Many Germans were fighting for, to get such a traineeship. This is what I was told back then, and it was definitely true, because it's one of the most prestigious companies. my faculty, I had 2 exams related to German language. I mean, German 1 and German 2. The German 2 back then I did not yet passed. So, but when I found out, and I left it at the very end of my, I mean, one of the last exams, maybe one before the last. The last, if I remember correctly, was business law. The German language. So I knew back then that I cannot get more than 8, and I needed more in order to boost my average score to the level that I wanted. So what I did, sometimes I'm quite pragmatic. I went to the cabinet of the professor, introduced myself, and then after having talked to her, she realized my level of German, because also German 1 I got 8, so German 2, when she spoken to me, and I don't know if I did some written exam or just it was not just the conversation, cannot remember right now, and she said, "Dear colleague, this is realistically speaking 8. Honestly speaking, it was even below 8, but she was quite a good professor, so she told me 8. And then I played in the following way. I told her, look, I really need better mark in order, because of many things related to my student hostel, some stipendium that I had back then, etc., etc. So I told her, could you possibly do some forward-looking mark of mine, because I will be going for 6 months to Germany for a traineeship. So presumably after these 6 months I will be speaking German quite fluent. So if you could do forward-looking kind of examination and take a factor in this, that I will be going for 6 months to Germany. I also showed her the proof that I got this traineeship, and she was there was a colleague of her or friend of her sitting at that time at her cabinet, and she was like, she looked at me and said, well, this is highly unusual, and then asked her friend what she thought about it, and she said, yes, I mean, look, I mean, he was so honest, etc. And yes, she gave me the mark 10, and with the promise that when I return back, I'll do the proper, exam and justify this mark 10, which I really did. In fact, during my time in Germany, when I was quite confident in the level of my German language, this was already after 3rd month, I would say, I wrote her a postcard saying in essence that reminded first who I am, and then said that hopefully, because based on the language that I used in this postcard, she now can be confident that my proper mark would be 10 at that time. And then when I returned back to the faculty after this traineeship, I went to her cabinet, and she also remembered the postcard, and she said, yes, I did the right thing. Okay, that's much for now. I need to do something actually to take some money from the cash machine, bankomat as we say in Serbia. Talk to you soon again.